Bonjour! And what a week this was. New comic book day. This is my review. I've got top 10, 5 for the deep dive, all the usual cover of the week, book of the week. There won't be no whinge of the week, to be fair, because there's too much to talk about. There were a lot of good books. And if I'm honest, I can't pick a whinge. It would be such a minute whinge that it just move on, hog. That's what. So it's a cracking week. I'm really excited, and I love it when it's just you've got so much good stuff to talk about. But before I start, there are other people, and I know I've mentioned my Threads friends. Got my new teeth in. And I'm just going to give them a shout out because I don't know if I've done this yet. Obviously, I've done the February monthly roundup with Joe from Marvel and Muscles. I know I'd get that one wrong. Muscles and the Multiverse. I know I'd get that one wrong. Muscles, Marvel, Multiverse. Sorry, Joe, but you know I love you. And anyway, to all you guys who aren't yet taking a look at the stuff that he's doing, please do. He does nicely. He doesn't ramble on like me. He does very succinct, professional, great videos, and entertaining and informative. Again, not like me. I shouldn't like him really. He's the antithesis of what I do. But you know I'm only joking. Check him out. Muscles and the Multiverse. I'm going to put all the links in my thingy anyway. Another one. So that was my February collaborator. At the end of March, I'm going to go with Chris from Longbox Punk. Now, he's only just started off this Longbox Punk. Oh, I should get new teeth, shouldn't I? I think I'm too excited. I'm trying to talk too quick. Longbox Punk. You know what it's like. He's just started the channel off. Please give him some support. I'm going to leave the links in the front. He's going to be helping me out with the March ramble and review of all his comics. He's worth checking out. I think he's going to have some really interesting stuff forthcoming, and he's got a Punk 911 podcast. I don't know where that is, but I'll get all the links off him, and I'm going to put all that on the page. And the guys over that also do a podcast. They're also on YouTube called The Last Comic Podcast. Now, these guys are all big, long-time Marvel fans. And guys, thank you so much. They run a little ad for me, bless them. We all, and these three that I'm mentioning, we all kind of connected on Threads. It's a really great positive community over there. And I know I'll keep gushing about it, but I will keep gushing about it because I think it's worth it. Just go over there and have a look at what everyone else is enjoying. You do get the few whingers, me included, but other than that, no one's hating on stuff. We can all have our moans and groans, I think. I think that makes things healthy. We can't like everything. Otherwise, the people that give us this stuff will get lazy. And I don't think that is a healthy environment for creativity. So let's tell them. We'll tell them when, something slipped. Other than that, those three. Last Comic Podcast, Muscles and the Multiverse, and Longbox Punk. Please check them out. Connected on Threads. Well worth checking out. Anyway, you know now what we're going to do. This is my top 10 of the week. I'm just going to get straight. I've got to get straight into it because I've rambled on. I've rambled on enough. First one up. These are my top 5 for the deep dive. Tom King. He done something special with this one, guys. I was not expecting that, and the cover as well. Such a serious, stoic cover. Yeah, we're going to have a look. We're going to have a closer look at that. The last issue of Testement, I have been raving about this all the way through, particularly Andrea Sorrentino's artwork, and I hope I got his name right. Beautiful stuff. beautiful stuff. And this will require as well. I've been reading this monthly, but what it will require is a sit down with the whole story. But this is the last issue, so I'm kind of recommending this as more of a trade paperback rather than, you know, it's the last issue, but just want to show off some of the artwork. And we've got to have a look at this as well, because I kind of don't know. Simon Spurrier's doing some great stuff there, but he went off on one this month, but we'll have a look at it anyway. And along the same lines as Hellblazer, this little beauty, issue 2, has really kind of jumped up a notch for me. I did enjoy the first issue. The storyline is basically the TV series Succession, if it was real demons. There we go. Enough said. Don't have to do a deep dive really now after that. And this beauty, Ram V again. Is there anything the guy can't do? Because I'm beginning to think there isn't. This is an absolutely, thanks to Eben Cagel's artwork, another beautifully written, beautifully drawn and coloured comic. That absolute Dark Horse are raising their game. They had done the Helen of Windhorn last week. They've got this one this week. I think they're raising their game a little bit. That's my little prediction, and that is my book of the week, by the way. Definitely my book of the week, because if you followed my videos for any length of time, you know I love the science fiction stuff, and that pure sci-fi. Now, 5 honourable mentions. Again, sci-fi, but is it me, or is there a craze for anthropomorphic storylines? Because we've got Animal Pound, we've got this, and I'm sure there's loads of others. It just seems to be like there's a big animal thing going on. I'm not against it, don't get me wrong. I'm not against it, but this is another one worth trying out. It's decent sci-fi. Decent sci-fi. And talking of decent sci-fi, is Star Wars sci-fi or is it just Star Wars? Well, if you fancy your Star Wars filtered through a manga filter, then this is for you. I think the guy did do a story before. This is, I just think it's a remarkable piece of work, to be honest. I do. I think it's a remarkable piece of work. And it's just Star Wars seen through that lens, that manga lens. And I really did enjoy it. Marvel, and this is where Marvel are winning with Star Wars at the moment. Jango Fett. Now this one, it just did everything it says on the tin. We want a bounty hunter with guns and rockets. And they did it. Thank you, Marvel. That's a decent storyline. I might be underselling that, but please believe me when I say sometimes the character that you want in a comic like this one, you do not want any mucking about. I want Blade with his swords, with his throwing thing. I want vampires. I want zombies. I want evil demons. I want the lot. That's what. Why else would I pick that up? If I want a rom-com, I'm not going to pick up Blade, am I? And that's the same with that Jango Fett comic. Star Wars, bounty hunter, armour, go, guns, done. Good, it's good stuff. And another one, I think I did recommend issue 1 as well of this. And again, it's nailing the character. Give me Wolverine. And all right, it's set after X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 268. So you've got Captain America and Black Widow as bonus, and the Hand. So that's what we want. Chris Claremont, go for it. Just go for it, man. Give us, this is second issue. he just goes for it. Just delivers. But you wouldn't expect anything less from Claremont. So after the scroll, we are going to do a deep dive of my top 5, and then we're going to do the cover of the week. We are going to imagine we only had pocket money for 1, maybe 2 comics, but I will whittle it down to the cover of the week. But sometimes I get down to 2 and I can't make up my mind, because I've got a few there of the ones that I just couldn't fit in. I literally bought 20 books this week. I know. I have got a problem. But I don't care, I love it. So I've got plenty of covers to go. It was a good week for covers, actually. They really did up their game. Everyone. There's a nice spread here. Anyway, please join me after the scroll for a deep dive on the top 5 and cover of the week. Okay, guys, let's get right into it with this. Look at the cover. That the stoicism of both the two of DC's biggest characters. And what transpires in this comic is nothing that you're set up for, which is basically, and by the way, spoiler alert on these top 5. So if you haven't got these yet, or you're waiting to go to the comic shop, please, I can't help it, especially with this book, because it's such a simple storyline, which is basically Wonder Woman arranging to meet Superman at this shopping centre, the Andromeda Mall, which is the biggest shopping centre in the universe ever. And basically, they are meeting up here to buy a birthday present for Batman, for Bruce Wayne. Now, bear with me. I know that could make eyes roll, but what Tom King does here was really, really cleverly done, I thought. From Wonder Woman trying to park her jet and being confronted by a road rage. Look, oh, so she's experiencing road rage, and also the robot that's told her that her ticket, don't lose your ticket, otherwise you'll get fined, and then you're in this alien mall, and the rest of this issue is 2 friends hanging out, but underscoring it is there's a moment which I think was really, really beautifully done. So they go to Earthbucks for a coffee. And up until this point, the previous, is it 6 issues? Is this issue 7? Yeah. The previous 6 issues isn't brought up until that one page. And I thought that was really beautifully done. Look, Diana, should we talk about it? She pauses a moment. No, thank you. By the end of, like I say, this is heavy spoilers, so sorry guys, because it's got to, but by the end of the issue, there's something else that's going to happen in future, really, really laying the groundwork. This isn't making it not just a filler issue, because it kind of is. It kind of is, but isn't, because we brought Superman in. Then we're back to the comedy, which is this alien rushing. It's a bit like Rowan Atkinson in Love Actually, when he's serving some jewellery to a character in the story, and the customer's rushing him along like, come on. And then we're back to Superman and Wonder Woman. And I'm thinking, when I first read this, I'm thinking, what? And then look, just give me the rock. I'm thinking, well, what's he in a rush for? It's because it's a lump of kryptonite and he's after Superman. Anyway, I won't show any more of this issue because it won't really make any more sense. I suppose it's all really it's so deftly handled by Tom King that well, it's probably, I know the first 6 issues were really heavy. This is probably my favourite issue, and it had a very Alan Moore vibe to it. I don't know why, it had a little bit of Halo Jones, a little bit of everything in it. To be fair, in this, because I think of the delicate touch with the characters. It's to make this go throughout an entire issue of a comic. It takes some writing. It takes some writing, guys. So, but it's not my book of the week, but it certainly was a contender. But I wanted to get that out of my system and start off with that. Very good. Now this is Tenement, the last issue. It says the end on the cover, so that's a bit of a clue. Jeff Lemire doing what he does best. Andrea Sorrentino and Dave Stewart on this book through these 10 issues has been absolutely beautiful. And Sorrentino is giving us another different style. He has really been playing around with the art styles to convey the different elements of the story. And that's why I wanted to do a deep dive on it, because this artwork, it started off this way, which is that photorealistic kind of art style, which I like, but can get a bit boring, can get a bit bland. But he only leaves it for when he's doing our main 7 characters. And look at this stuff. It's just great. It's just beautiful. I can imagine that being on like a 10-foot by 10-foot board that he's done. That such is the impact of it. And I'm trying to think of a classical piece that he has taken this from, because I might even I've recognised some references throughout Sorrentino's artwork in this, and I'm sure that is a classical piece done as these two characters in this story. I'm sure that's like a Michelangelo or something from classical times. But anyway, guys, this is well worth picking up. This was a very satisfying end to 10 issues of a horror. A kind of a bit gothic in a way, but will be very well worth it if you have not been picking that up. Nice, very nice. Another horror. And in a way, I mean, the theme, I mean, not that, I mean, Wonder Woman was a bit of a filler. This kind of felt like a bit of a filler. He's dead in America. It's a road trip story, but suddenly we're focusing on this one character again, and we're wondering why. But how it is rolled out, and again, a lovely art job, how it's rolled out is so intriguing and satisfying. By the time you get to the end, the character from the last issue, I forget her name now, Clarice, is obviously dying, but Hellblazer, John Constantine needs her. But we're finding out her backstory, her origins from thousands of years ago. And the artwork, I can see, because it's got Swamp Thing in it. Right, here we go. I can kind of see that they're going down that Total Ben and who was it? Steve Total Ben and John. Back when Alan Moore was doing Swamp Thing. Great art, such a great art team. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, Bissett, Steve Bissett and John Totalban. Not that it's on a par with that, I'm sorry to say, but I can see that they're going with that vibe of all of this, which obviously is inherent to the storyline. And I thought this was great. As horror books go, I mean, there's 3 horror books in my top 5, I'm not the biggest horror fan, but very, very, very good stuff. It's pointless me going for any more because obviously with these stories, they are panels of talk more than action. But another great, really, really enjoying that. But that was a change of pace, a bit like Wonder Woman, but this was a change of pace, as in it was more dark than humorous. Normally, it's darkly comedic, but it wasn't. It wasn't this month. But I still loved. Nevertheless, I'm not saying that made it a bad thing. It was just a nice change of pace. Well worth checking out. So look, 3 horror books in a row, and like I previously said, this is Succession, the TV series, but with real demons. And in this issue, the ex-wife turns up. Noah Gardner, Ryan Parrott have written this. This story is absolutely superb, where the old man's dying, and the 2 sons and 1 daughter are queuing up. There's 2 of them. He's the oldest, and he thinks he's getting the throne. These are his that's the younger brother and sister, and the soap opera ensues from there. This is our enemy, a businessman, a multi-billionaire, but then you get stuff like this. So you think you are in the world of Succession and the normal world, but then you get stuff like this. And one thing I just want to point out, without spoiling more of the story, like I love all this stuff, is I really, really did appreciate at the back of this comic how the process of creating this artwork, absolutely love it. I love this behind the scenes stuff, and this particularly the stages of how that double page spread was created. But again, this is only on issue 2. I don't think it's like the hottest thing off the press. It should be, but I'm pretty sure you could pick up issues 1 and 2 of this easy. Get on board. It is great. Thoroughly recommend. And then the book of the week. You're in for a treat here, guys. This is absolutely beautiful. Ram V, as always. You know, what can't the man do? And colours by Dave Stewart as well, which obviously helps even Cagle's artwork. It looks pretty standard from the splash page, to be fair, but once you get right into this artwork is absolutely beautiful. It is so detailed. It is properly lush, this artwork. It's not on the level of well, no, I suppose it's on a level of what's her name, Evelyn, who did Helen of Windhorn last week. It's on a level with that, I would say. It's just this just blew me away. A sci-fi. It's a bit of a Pacific. If you remember the film Pacific Rim with the big robots. So here's our main character, Dawn. The new, they're called Iron Kings. So the new Iron King is called Dawn Runner, and she's having a run at dawn. So we're kicking it off with we're right on the nose with issue 1. There's stuff like this. I just think this is absolutely stunning. And you can, you know, I would imagine certain people can say, yeah, it looks quite standard, but none of this is standard at all. And great colouring by Dave Stewart, by the way, that's enhancing, because I don't know how much of the lines in the kind of screen, you know, like that screen where they've kind of tried to give you the pixelated feeling. I don't know how much that's in the colouring or in the artwork. But I just wanted to get to one of the techie. Right, here we go. Now that's beautiful. That was reminiscent of American Flag. It gave me those vibes of giving you all that information, tech, in one go. And here's obviously our big bad. So obviously I did tell you all spoilers, so sorry guys if that's caught you by surprise. I do apologise. I did say spoilers a while ago. Anyway, I won't give you any more spoilers because this is a treat, a visual treat. The story's intriguing. Issue 1, without a doubt, by a long way, that was my book of the week. And it was funny enough, this out of 20 books this week, that's the one I picked up first. So there was obviously something intriguing about it. So come on, cover of the week now. Lionel Francis Yu with a bit of Jango Fett. I mean, that says everything you need to know, doesn't it? Star Wars, Jango Fett. I think that also does Wolverine, swords, claws, the hand, blood-soaked Captain America in the background. I don't know if you'd pick out Black Widow so much. I still think that's a dynamic cover though. It's mainly there for Wolverine, rising above the pile of his enemy. So there's a Star Wars. I know that isn't the most dynamic, but I thought I'd throw that in. Rod Rice's artwork is so good, and that sums up the Thrawn character perfectly. But I will admit that will probably only appeal to the Star Wars fans that already know the character. World's finest, as always, Dan Mora can do it, can't he? Look, Lex, Superman, Joker, Batman. Enough said. Brett Bean is channeling his best Scotty Young on that cover. I keep forgetting his name. That's a little character, a guide through Fairyland. He stuck there on the axe. You know what I'm like, but I just thought that was a gloriously ultra-violent, cartoonist cover. Moon Knight, McKay's got to get on with this one now. Issue 3. It's not a whinge, I'm just saying, but a great cover if you're going to sell it. And I know this was last week, so I do apologise, but I was late getting this. So I do apologise for that one, but I think that's a beautifully dynamic cover. If you're going to sell that, Blackwood, why not? It's got everything you need to know on that cover. So what's going to be the one that gets that your pocket money is going to what's the most exciting one out of that? I Hate Fairyland, probably not. World's Finest, is it a bit static? Moon Knight's a bit static, I think. Thrawn, definitely. Jango Fett, I think, has got to stay there. Dawn Runner, it's appealing to the sci-fi fans, but it isn't the most dynamic cover in the world, is it? I know there's variants available for all of this stuff. But Marvel, whilst they weren't in my top 5, I've got to admit, cover-wise, I've got to, out of these 3, because I think that just sums it up. Guns, armour, bounty hunter. Say it. Why not? And I know this was last week, but I do think that is a glorious cover out of these 2. But I think for me this week, I think Philip Tan is going to get it, because I think he's a great artist, and I just think that's a great cover. And there is something going on. It seems in every corner. So this would have got my pocket money if I went to the spinner rack and was spinning all these covers round. For me, that would have got my vote. If you have got a cover of the week, let me know in the comments, or let me know on Threads. Actually, you all know where I am now. So let me know on Threads. If you've stayed with this long, thank you so much as always. And you know I love you sexy subscribers. And if you are commenting, I love you as well. And let me know what you've picked up. I know you do that on Threads, but let me know on YouTube. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree about my top 5 and for the deep dive, or my top 10. Let me know what your top 10 is. In the comments. I love it. You know I like getting into it, and you know I reply to everyone. And it really does, it's just nice to get into it. That's why I'm here. I love comics. And on that note, until next week, I will bid everyone Adios.